Hey Barney, welcome. I know, no crypto. Don't troll me. How's he doing? How are things down under? Or, well, whatever.
The back and forth has got me so messed up. Don't ignore the signs. We've had enough of the whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing. Why do I
Okay, so everything seems to be running. By the way, I've not streamed earlier because I was playing around with something else, and I'm gonna show you guys. Oh, wait. Okay, so there's a little bit of a problem here because it's not properly scaled apparently. But I've been playing with the pause or the intermission screen, and I created this little source. Let me just correct the transform. No, it's okay. Okay, I need to change it somewhere else. So I created this web source. Oh yeah, I see. Let's see. Okay, perfect. I created this little web source for OBS, which shows you the latest found command and control systems, or command and control for malware. Actually, it's better to. And it gets data from Shodan, and then it just represents it in globe. Actually, the latest data was from yesterday, so I'm just gonna refresh it. Yep. So we have 300 matches that were tagged with malware, 300 hosts, and it spans from the 21st of April to the 2nd of May, which is today. So I've been playing around. I have this script. Switch. Where is it? I have this little. It's not a little script. It's actually starting to be quite big, which is my OBS sources. So for instance, for the music, I can control from here the music, so I can skip music, go back, do all these sort of things. As here, all the music players, and this was the one from the globe, and this one is the social links that you can see on the bottom left. So I've been playing around, and the last web source for OBS that I implemented was this one, was the globe, which is really cool. Actually, can control a bunch of things like the speed of rotation of the globe, all the colors and whatnot. So yeah, that's what I've been spending my time on. So it's been really enjoyable. Am I like malware tech? No, I just like to play around with multiple things. Anyways, focusing on the challenge. We were in the last stream, I was in the state where I could interact with the UVI. I could give it a source code and it would compile it, and I could download the compiled executable. The problem was it wasn't a problem back then. I was thinking, okay, what useful can I do with this? What can I get out of it? And I was thinking local file inclusion. And I also did this off stream. I didn't stream it because I wasn't in the mood. So in the end, this code didn't change that much. It's the same. It still doesn't do anything different from what it was in the previous stream, apart from getting the source that needs to be compiled from this lfi.c file. So the lfi.c file is a simple C file where I started playing around. How could I include files on a compiled unit? And I spent a lot of time searching for it, and I found this assembly instruction, which is the include, which includes a plain text file, which is supposed to be assembly, but it also had the inc bin instruction, which means you could include a binary file. So this had some successes but many failures. I could not with inc bin I couldn't include many text-based files. Like for instance, I couldn't include the config.json, which has the private key that is used to generate the signatures. I tried with include, and that included plain text files. It would result in an error, but the error wasn't descriptive enough. So I was playing around, tried multiple files, a lot of things, until I was looking at the source code, and this didn't exist back then. I was looking at the source code and I was like, but I don't need these assembly instructions. I actually have the include here. Why don't I just try and use this? And I did, and basically the error became a lot more descriptive. So much so that I can get the entire contents of config.json. Let me just check if my local version is running. So now if I do this, it results in an error when the solver submits the build task. It results in an error, and if I write into an error log the resulting message, what we get, where is it? Here it is this. So basically, with this local file inclusion, we got the configuration for a known flag, and now we have one more component that allows us to generate fake signatures. So we have the private key. We also have what else do we need? Let me see. Yeah, we have the RSA key. We know how they construct the signatures themselves. So the last thing we need is the identifier for the binary that has the flag that we need. I'm just gonna show you here, for example, using the assembly instructions, how it looks like. ASM include okay. I'm gonna use first the include bin. And if I include instead of the source, let's include the actual built binary. Also, I have to use different paths because the include instruction, or how do you call it? Macro maybe? Anyway, keyword uses the include search path, which is a little bit different from this. So if I say a.out, it should work. No, it failed. But oh, because no, it's here. 35 ed. Let's look at the error log. Okay, there's something that I'm missing. Oh yeah. That should work. So you can see we requested the build, it was successful. We requested the downloads, it was successful. And if we look at the returned executable, and you can see here, this is the main header. And if we look for another elf header, it's here. Actually, let's go back to the beginning. So this is the beginning of the file, and if we look for elf, there's another instance. So it actually included on the binary that we compiled an existing binary. If I run this binary, you can see here the size of the embedded payload, which is usually the size of the compiled flags, is 16K, around 16K. This is how this one works, but the one that works the best, at least for the purpose that we want, is the normal C++ or C include directive. Let's remove that, or maybe comment it's better. This was straight up, I came across this on Stack Overflow answer. I should actually give proper credit. It was a gist. Yeah, it was this one. It was based on this, actually. Okay. In any case, the one that matters is this one. I already tested this against the actual production or CTF environment and it works. So we can get the CTF private key. So, but now we are missing some more stuff. I'm just going to restart my environment here. Oh, it's missing the style CSS still. Let's see. I think it worked. I'm just gonna save. Assuming it should be here now. Why is it still not finding? No, it's a different name for some reason. Okay, now it should work. Okay, perfect. So anyways, focusing. So we know almost everything we need to get our flag. The only thing missing right now is the ID of the flag. Why? Because if we look at how they generate signatures, they use the headers and they use this x-ubi-id build, right? So we need to figure this one out. There is this submit, right? And I'm gonna clear here Wireshark, because I'm gonna be looking at the traffic in between our local running applications, because I think the trick here is to submit something here that... Why is my VM so slow today? I'm thinking probably the VM needs a little bit of a restart because it's very slow. Okay, I'm gonna do a restart of the VM. I should have done it before I started. But anyways, the idea is to submit something on that form that allows us to embed some sort of client-side payload that allow us to get the identifier from the list, because we know when we submit something to that form, on the back end the application does a request to the specific the URL that we supplied, and if that URL is the same as the one that where the flags application is running. It provides the admin cookies. Since it provides the admin cookies, it will, if we submit to the home page of the flags application, it will list all flags, because the flag is only hidden, the flag that we own is only hidden if you are not an admin user, if you get what I mean. So let's have a look again. Hopefully now it will be a little bit snappier. Let me check. I forgot to activate the environment. Desktop, Angstrom, 2020. No, actually. That's it. Now, oh, I forgot. Okay, I need to define the cookie, I need to define the flag, and I need to define the URL, and now it should run. No. Okay, I'm missing something, another export, I think. UVI, okay. I was missing this export, now it should work. Okay. Now let's clear the directories. Okay. Clean environment. Trigger. Let's run. Okay. Just copy this name and put it here on the solver. No, on the LFI, sorry. Okay, so now what the hell? Don't show again, please. Visual Studio Code sometimes is a little bit... Oh, wait. Sorry. Forgot to change the scene. But anyways, now I have everything set up. Now that I have everything set up, what do I need more? Oh yeah, I need to test if it's running. What am I missing? Oh, in the wrong directory. have our log saved, and if we look at the error log, here it is. Okay, so let's look. Firefox. It worked. Okay, now then it's probably easier if I just go to challenges. The UBI and the flag side. Okay, and now I'm gonna make use of my own instances. Which one was it? It was 10 maybe? Yeah, 10. So this is the UBI. And these were the flags. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna start Wireshark just to show you what I mean. So port 501 and or actually port 502. No, sorry, 5000. Yeah. So if I do this and I submit a request, it's actually wrong. If I submit a request on here to myself or to the flag side itself, it takes a little bit. And if you look at Wireshark, you can see here the requests being made. So the first TCP stream is basically us submitting the form, and you can see here the submitted URL. Okay. The second TCP stream is actually the web application yeah, exactly. Is the actual web application submitting the request, okay? And you can see here, this is the listing of the flags, and it doesn't have the flag that we want because the submitted host is different. So in the application, when they submit, they define the cookie, but the cookie is only valid for the correct flags. If I'm good at hacking, it depends. The most newbie. Sometimes I feel I'm really good, sometimes I feel I'm really shit at it. So there's that. What are you on about? What do you want to know? So it gets the URL, so that's why I didn't send the cookies. But if I do this, which match exactly the host, we're gonna see here the requests, and I think it's this one. No, it still didn't send it. Why didn't he send it? Oh no, no. Let me check. What am I missing? 127, 10, 10, 1501. Let me look here. Maybe I'm sending the wrong. So UBI is on this one, and URL is this one. Okay, I'm doing it's because everything is running on the local host. Yeah, and I got the URLs wrong. Now it should. Okay, now if I submit, this, now it should send the cookie. The problem of running everything in localhost is that no matter what IP address you put here, it always matches. Well, at least if it's on the range of the localhost. So if we follow the TCP stream, I still didn't want to send it. Oh yeah. Wait. Okay, let's restart the capture. You can see here. Yeah, exactly this. Let's submit again. Let's have a look at the capture. And it should be this request. Yeah, finally. Okay. So, and you can see here the cookie data find. And if we look back a little bit further down, here it is, the flag that we want to obtain. So I'm thinking, because I found it very interesting that they added this specific header, the CSP header, denying any script from being run. So there's no way we're gonna get a cross-site scripting. But I was thinking maybe we could leverage some CSS, cascaded styles sheets, to try and leak this identifier, right? That's what I'm going to try to do. Maybe leaking this entire thing might be a little bit a tad too much, but just leaking this might be good, might be possible. And you can see here the response with the CSP header forbidding cross-site scripting. So that's what I'm going to focus today on. Oops. I actually switched. I wanted to switch without. Anyways, sorry, I was just drinking water. I don't know how much the filter killed the noise. But anyways, I switched to the wrong scene. Pro streamer here. So the first thing is to check how can we get this. And I was thinking maybe because they don't have any iframe protection, they don't have any whatsoever iframe protection. I was thinking that maybe I could create some sort of iframe that embedded this page, the flags page, and I requested that iframe from here, and after it loaded I could analyze the source for this page and get this identifier from there. If I cannot use iframes, I don't know, I'll try some other tricks. Like the CSS. I don't know how yet, but yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on. So let's just restart this because it's gonna be useful. Let's have a look at our, so it's a bad idea to serve anything from this web application, but maybe from the UVI I can do something. I can actually do it from here. I can actually leverage UVI to do it. Or I can just create a simple web application based on this. I'm just gonna create a simple web application. So this is the solver. Let's create a new file called, I don't know. Let's create a server.py or an iframe. No. Let's create a client, because we are trying to attack client functionality even though we are doing a request to the server side. So let's modify the Uvi code. So we have Flask, we don't need this. For now, we don't definitely need this. What we need is this. Let's see here. Okay. So this is a very, very simple Flask application. Look, I don't need anything else. This is enough. Also, before that, I'm just gonna switch. I'm just gonna run the solver against the CTF environment to get the private key from there. Compilation. What? That's the problem. Oh, okay. Sorry. I need to make sure I'm sending the request to the CTF environment. So if I do this now, it get me what I want. So here it is. Here it is, the flag or the private key from the CTF environment. So that's cool. Now let's focus on trying to get our iframe working. If I need to escape this, probably I need. Python client already in use. Okay, let's do actually 172 10 10. What the URLs I have? 1 and 2 and let's say 3 and 5003. Cannot assign. My bad. Now it should work. Now it should have some iframe here. Okay, here it is. So now if we do this and we include the flags website, did it include? Mm, 27, 10, 10, 2, 5001, 5002. Okay, let's see how do we do iframes. It is iframe and source. So let's see what the browser says about it. Might be actually no, it does do the request, but it doesn't render anything. Community edition. Why is it failing? Okay, I know why it. Okay, maybe I should just do this so it's all the same. Let's try again. Yeah, okay, so it included, so it doesn't have any iframe protection, so it just included it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look when we actually submit it here. Let's see what happens. So it does have the submit. It does do the request. Oh, okay, I see what I'm doing wrong. I'm not seeing all the. Let's try again with a clean slate. Let's see. I'm sending the right URL. Okay, so this is our submit. This is our first get, which goes straight to the flags website. And this Okay. Interestingly enough, you can see here from the referrer okay, because this is the 302. It's interesting that I'm not seeing. Okay, I know why. Because I need another port, or port 5002. That's why I wasn't seeing the traffic. Is because I'm filtering by port because I don't want to see the entire localhost traffic. I just want to see these ones. 5002, yes. So let's submit again. And now we are seeing a little bit more than we were before. So you can see here, it requests the iframe. And then on the next TCP stream, it actually requests the flags page. And you can see here the referrer is coming from our iframe. You can see it's coming from where we have our iframe hosted. And you can see here this, right? So what we need is from our page that has the iframe to access the actual content that is inside of it. So let's see, iframe. First we need to know when the iframe is loaded. It's ideal you can get an iframe to tell you itself the script inside the frame. Okay, let's go back. Let's see. Do this straight. Or we can just do this, no? It's probably best. Okay. Let's come here to our client. And so we define our iframe. Say HTML. Let's be a little bit more. Not that we need, but let's be a little bit more verbose and according to standards. So here it is. Add iframe, and now we just need the script. Right. And what we need here is the on loads. And we call this on frame loaded. Let's just look at Stack Overflow again. Do I need it? No, probably. It's easier. Now, let's restart. What happened? Why is it trying to interpret this as not as a string? Real? Is it because it's a template or something? Okay, it was because of a format, because of the format df. So it was interpreting this as a placeholder. Okay, that solved it. Let's have a look. Yeah, my frame is loaded. So we know when the iframe is fully loaded. Now the question is how to access the content inside the iframe. Probably the cross-browser policies will come into play, but we'll have to see how we deal with that. Just a small correction, I mean cross-domain policies.
Every day we escape, losing all of our faith. We can't
Content document, interesting.
feel me slowly fade away. Feel me slowly fade away.
Okay, this is how jQuery does it.
Every day I feel time.
Would that make sense for us? Let's try it. Let's alert on the iframe document. And check if that works. No, it does not. Probably because there was an error or something. Yeah, content security page. Script source. I did block it somehow. Yeah, we cannot access it. It says that on cross-origin policy or on cross-origin object. So you can see here on frame loaded, which is here. This is what I was afraid would happen, which will be the same that will happen when, I'm pretty sure, when the Chrome instance from Puppeteer visits that page. So sorry. So cross origin. So we need to define our search query a little bit better. Bypass cross origin request. Oh, look, request bypass cross origin iframe. Let's see. Let's see what we can do about this. Method Ajax. With window post message. When called causes a message event to be dispatched at the target window any pending script that must be executed complete. No, that won't work. Let's see how we can find it. Because even though this application doesn't send any access controls or any cross-domain policies, the browser will use the safest option, I think, which is deny. Use a script to bypass. Yeah, but this doesn't work for us because we have no control of the resulting iframe or the of the flags website, so we cannot use post message, I think. Okay, it's the same. Cross origin sharing method. I can try this. Would this be the case? Okay, let's try this method without using the iframe and see if it works. Doesn't hurt. So this is the iframe. Let's leave it there. Let's see. So first we create a XML HTTP request. We check with credentials. Otherwise, X domain. Okay. Then it returns the HAX request. So now here it would be cool, but I don't think it will work. I'm very doubtful that I'm gonna get anything out of this one. Then if request, sorry, one more. Let's just do some logging as well, just to make sure. Let's see. and then we'll figure out if we can access the content. No. Handler is not defined. No. So it doesn't send a header, so it once again it denies. Interestingly enough, it doesn't even get to do this. Yeah, it's missing. Let me just make sure. Interestingly enough, why isn't the iframe load? Oh, my bad. Sorry. Forget that I need to restart the application. Yeah, okay. So the iframe still loads properly. The problem is the cross origin. So this is not going to work. Let's have it as a comment here as things that were tried but didn't work. So we need another technique to try and bypass. So how I would use this? Let's have a look, a proper look. Windows post message. Window.postMessage. When called, calls the message event to be dispatched at the target window when any pending script that must be executed completes. Windows post message. Window.postMessage, an origin property corresponding to the origin of the main domain in the window calling. Wow. Okay. So this is not gonna work because we don't, once again, yeah, I cannot control the flag side to have this embedded on it. So they still keep pointing to the let's have a look at an example. So it embeds a player on an iframe. And the status. Yeah, but that's because the iframe itself does the post messages. I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look. In one of these scripts, for sure it's sending probably the player script. Is using some, yeah, you can see here post message. So yeah, this post message technique only works if you can control the flags page. Will only work, so it needs to be something else. Let's see. Let's see if the CSS has anything, because this is what I had in my mind, was using CSS to, this is an interesting one, to get the data from it, from the inside the iframe. So let's see. I use prototype framework. Yeah, but it needs to be, this doesn't account for cross-domain origin because it's modifying things. Yeah, no. Ignore this one. So, a web page inside an iframe is not allowed to modify or access the DOM of its parent or top page and vice versa if both pages don't belong to the same origin. Window documents, proxy, cross-document messaging. So this is the window.post message, which won't work. Right. You also need to set the parent document domain variable. For sure that this would work? No, this is... no. So let's see an example of this. Okay. Why not? Let's just try it. Doesn't hurt. Window document. I'm assuming we need a port as well. or maybe just the domain. What was the jQuery way of accessing content? Iframe content window document. Let's try that. I shouldn't have erased it, but how many? Okay. Let's see how many errors we get now. Yeah, still. It doesn't work. The operation is insecure. Thanks, Sherlock. Yeah, it's still. Let me see one thing. What if I do it like this? It's the same result. Doesn't work anyways. Okay, so we need something else, and a proxy is not an option either. Let's see if OWASP has anything on this. Same origin. Web messaging. Okay, no. Seriously? How did I? Okay, let's see this
de la gran oscuridad hasta que me convierta en rayos y más allá a través de la gran oscuridad y
No, this doesn't help me at all. I don't think they are using an old version of Chrome for Puppeteer, so I don't think this will ever work. It worked in the past, clearly, but on newer browsers it just doesn't. I don't know how to do that. Let's have a look again at the flags page, at least at the source, because there's nothing here that we can use. We have a simple style sheet, which is this one, which uses this framework called Bulma. So let's have a look here. Maybe Vicky Lee has an answer. JSON with padding. So cross-site scripting won't happen because they have the header. Post message either. No. See. Have a look at this. Yeah, but the problem is that we cannot access attributes. At least not inside from an iframe. That doesn't happen. Value selector, which can be used to parse the HTML tag attribute data. Here's a summary of the selectors. Okay. This simple example demonstrates how these selectors can be abused. Value. Okay, so basically is defined for this input. If the value is mic G, it downloads this as a background image, basically, right? And this is the brute force, basically. A, B, wow. But the problem is if the iframe is in the other, is protected by same origin policy. I won't be able with style sheets. Pretty sure that won't work. Just go and get it, don't be watching from the sidelines. Working harder than ever, I know this my time. If you want it, you know it's real, you gon' shine bright. Yeah, life will point you in directions. Keep walking down the road, whichever way you gon' accept it. Don't ever think to look back. Yeah, we cannot do this. I'm only here to open ears and spread the message. Cannot change the content. Yeah, because it has a cross-site scripting, which we don't have. I would think.
I know they feel like you might own something. Yeah, like what you mean now, I don't owe you nothing. Yeah, I speak the truth, ain't no lies, no fronting. Yeah, pray on my downfall, yeah, I know I love it. Yeah, I love it when they never believe. These people taking and they take, they never
CSS injection.
circle, never round and back 360 degrees.
Let's see. Maybe we can inject CSS. Oh, it's donut. Cool. It's an article from Donut. So, like this, and it uses background URLs. Okay. Then an attacker.com will load an iframe with this CSS injection on it. Okay, let's try that. Because it says here, the attacker.com would load an iframe with this CSS injection on it on target.com. What does it mean? Okay, let's try that. Let's come here to our awesome. Let's define style. And we need to customize this. So let's say, let's have a look at the flags page. Is there any IDs? No, it's just hrefs. I guess we can just say it's A for any A. And the value starts, not so much the value, but href starts with h, and then we request 127.10.10.3 5002. I say xfill a, for example, or h. See if that does anything. Where's the network? No, that did nothing. Let's keep reading the posts. Let's see if he has any prototype. He seems to have some, okay. Some example frames. Okay, it clears. Build CSS. But it needs a vulnerable attribute. Where you can inject CSS. Okay, so that's not gonna happen. because I don't think there's nothing here that uses attributes, is it? Is there? So let's have a look at the source code for... Yeah, it just sends it like this. It doesn't take any parameters from the request. There's no JavaScript, there's nothing in. So I cannot actually inject. I needed to inject the CSS. So that's not gonna work. Yeah, because it needs a reflected CSS injection. Unless this movement framework has something that we can use. Because this is interesting one. But I think this is just basic CSS, I think. I don't think it has anything special on it. Let's have a look at it. It's just a collection of styles. I don't think we're gonna get anything out of this. That's such far. We'll have some iframe styles, but that's based on it's mini reset or whatever it is. So that ain't gonna work. Okay. How can I inject CSS on this? No, that's not. That's what we already read. So we don't have cross-site scripting, we don't have style sheets injection, CSS injection. Let's have a look here. This is the same thing that we were reading on Donut's post. Let's have a look. So the download function, where is it? No, we already had a look, and this goes back to UBI, so it's not gonna work. Okay. Is there any other way we could include that web page? Because if I use, I don't know, if I, instead of using an iframe, what if I try to include the web page in another manner? How would I go about doing that? Let's try with Ajax. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be blocked. I'm pretty sure. Because that's what happened here. I tried to get it, and it simply just rejected it. Yeah, Ajax is not gonna work. Have a look at the header again. We are adding the no cross-site scripting. Yeah, it's none. Style sheets doesn't work. Let's have a look at the actual error again. Cross origin objects. Typing cross origin bypass.
I get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the whole closest starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven.
From server controlled by the attacker. Basic bypass. the new origin. We don't have that. Could we use the iframe to modify? No, that wouldn't. No, that wouldn't work. DNS rebinding. Please don't. Yeah, but DNS rebinding on this one. So private server. No, I think this is too much. I think this is too much. Having to have, needing to set up a DNS resolver to do the rebinding attack. I think it's a little bit too much for this challenge. Can I do this? Can I make use of this thing? Out of curiosity. Let's try that. Why not? First, let's see if the app is still running. No. Apparently not. Just double check. No, I think it's down.
The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all.
No, I don't think this will be useful.
Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights.
Think this will work either, because this will fail, this request will fail, and this is based on having cross-site scripting on it.
Tomorrow feels a year away, like the seconds, the beginning and the end. But if in time it's yesterday, your picture's gonna bring it home to me again. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. And if it's not enough,
can we poison? Would be able to poison the cache from the Puppeteer browser, from the Chromium instance. Client-side caching. Server-side. That's not gonna happen. So how do I go about this one? Cannot do cross-site injection. Interesting. I was thinking maybe I could poison the CSS, because I don't want to poison the main page, because the main page will contain the flag. But maybe I can poison the style CSS. How would I do that actually? Because I don't control the flags. I can control how many requests the client side does. No, I don't think I can do this. So on frame mode is I've never felt like this before. My mind filling with the sound, the world around me. It's a blur. I'm in euphoria. Without XSS. How do you okay, that doesn't answer. Let's see what. Oops. Oh yeah, but this is JSON NP. We don't have a JSON NP endpoint. Do I need to embed something on my web page, on the attacker web page, that like a PDF or something? Because I'm seeing here like jars or Java applets, which on Chrome won't work. That's what they are saying here, right? We can use same merger policy. Yeah, okay. So this doesn't exist because we don't have any such file. Do we? I don't think so. What's the name? Yeah, we don't. Yeah, this won't work. This is JSON NP. Sorry, I'm quite quiet because I'm trying to think where the hell can we get this thing. Think. So I was thinking a little bit on the style.css file. If I poison the style.css file, then I could use the selectors to try and get the ID, but that's gonna, I think that's too complex. I'm not seeing that being the solution for this challenge. No, it's if Sass is being used to generate the style.css. Have you checked if Sass is being used? I don't. Well, to generate Boomba.io, the style sheet from Boomba.io, it's likely that they are using Sass. But how does that help? Because the file is already generated. Let's have a look. Yeah, they are using it, yes. Make it generate a file report. Does that file report give us anything interesting, like points of input or something that we can change? Let's see how they build this goddamn thing. I hate 10 p.m. Travis. So they use SAS and then that's it. No. Remote execution. What are you talking about, Barney? I'm getting a little bit lost with that one. No, it doesn't have workflows. We already checked that. Okay. Let's have a look. Yeah, no worries. Check SAS for no, this is not. Oh, look. The visit link concern. Okay, that's normal. The keylogger. Yeah, it's with the background, but we need a cross-site scripting injection. Interesting. What if? Would it be possible for a cross-site CSS property to get values from the DOM, or at least from parameters or something? Deft keylogger. Would that be the case? Would that be... Let's have a look at the source code for Booma. Wow. Where's my reset components? And this is just an include, I think. Yeah. Okay. Like for example, let's search for, I don't know, window. View. The style sheets doesn't have anything like that.
I've been flipping pages since I could remember. That told me I had to be within the lines of 2 degrees and 9 to 5. And I've been working after work since last September. Working after work, yeah. I stay up late on the weekdays. I never tell when we say.
You're such a troll. Anyways, that won't work. So if so the LFI is done. Oh. I'm pretty sure this one needs to be client side. You can't access the cookies from another domain, that's for sure. Problem is that we don't, at least not that I'm seeing, there's no injection in here. There's a form, but the form doesn't take any parameters from anywhere. Then there's just a list of flags. Let's have a look here. See. So I'm not showing you this because I actually exchanged some message with the author of the CTF. So I got the LFI and then I was asking him, okay, but then what? He was saying client-side exploitation begins. How can I? I'm really at a loss right now because we don't have any injection on this goddamn page. And I don't want to do DNS rebinding. I really don't. I don't think DNS rebinding is a challenge that is worth 300 points. That being said, let's have a look at how we can implement DNS rebinding. DNS rebinding for dummies. That's not gonna work. Same origin policy. It's starting to look like we're gonna have to do DNS rebinding. We even can use this one. Let's see if it's still up. No, doesn't seem to be up. So he runs this. He has a DNS server and an HTTP. Okay. Victim loads an iframe from an attacker-controlled domain. The iframe loads the JavaScript to identify the local IP via WebRTC. Each IP on the victim's 24 is squared for a path expected to exist on the router. Okay, because this is focusing on the router. On the Netgear thing. The JavaScript submits this IP to the attacker server and receives a token value. Then the JavaScript, okay, the token value is used to construct a domain name and update the iframe location. JavaScript loaded from this source sets an interval timer. The timer callback makes requests to the crafted domain. After the DNS entry expires, the domain is resolved to a LAN IP. The timer callback can now fetch the CSRF token. Okay, before I dive into the rabbit hole, I'm gonna drop a message. To the author, just to confirm that DNS rebinding is not the way to go. I don't think. I have a big, yeah. Let's just be sure. I don't think DNS rebinding is the answer. So for the client-side exploitation, since there doesn't seem to be any CSS XSS injection, is the answer. Because if we could rebind the flags.libctf, well, anyways, whatever the name is, the flags.2020.chal.actf.co, if we could rebind that domain to ours, then the browser might just send the cookie to us. The problem is it has HTTPS, and this is not exposed on HTTP, I don't think. Let's just double check. No, I don't think it is. Do a double get or something. I think it will fail. It does get a redirect, so it does get a redirect from the server. The puppeteer. So I sent, hey, for the client-side exploitation, since there doesn't seem to be any CSS XSS injection, is the answer DNS rebinding? Make the Puppet Chrome instance believe the flag site is hosted in a different IP? I'm asking this because I want to know before I go down the rabbit hole. He'll probably not respond right now, so what I'm gonna do is actually go down the rabbit hole. Still, if this guy published his source? No, I don't think he did. Let's have a look at. Let's just minimize here. So but still, that would be even No, but even DNS rebinding. Sorry, I touched the microphone. Even DNS rebinding would be the solution. No, sorry. What's her name? Beckerton. Debeck. How do you pronounce your name? DB Eckerton? Yeah. Not gonna be doing pen tests anytime soon. Not on my free time, at least, that's for sure. I have enough of them. So even that, because with DNS rebinding I cannot change the IP from the flags. I can make the browser believe my IP address or the IP address for a domain that I control is the one used by the flags, but that's not gonna get us the cookie anyway. Let me see what else. What else can I do? I can run JavaScript. But that's the thing, right? Blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think DNS rebinding is gonna be the answer. I can run JavaScript on the browser if I tell it to visit a specific web page that I control. Yeah, DNS rebinding is not the answer. Won't work. Let's see what we can do, what we need to do cache poisoning, client-side cache poisoning. Okay. We have found a web page which gets its service name from the page argument. Yeah, but this is server side. This is server side, is with squid and whatnot. There's a way. Persistent browser cache poisoning. No. It's based on shared medium. No. So this is based on you controlling the medium from what the browser is getting the data. So with a MITM, sorry. Well, if you do an MITM, then you do a lot of, you are already doing. This doesn't seem to be either. Okay. Anyways, this is client side. This needs to be client side. So what else can we do? Have a look at the nodes. So if we send the request to the submit endpoint with the flag URL, all the flags including the hidden one can't get the response. Yeah. So our little iframe, what can we do? Ah, wait. But I can include the style sheet, right? Can actually include the style sheet, and this request should also take the cookies with it, right? If I do this, then we'll have a look at the Wireshark. Wireshark, and if we submit, or if we do it there, let's get the style sheet 2 times. Let's just see what comes out of the woodwork. So first it requests the page with the iframe, then it requests the style sheet, and the style sheet, even though it's been requested from a different page, it does have the cookie. It does have the cookie, but it's only it does have the cookie. But this is being sent to the browser. Can I access? Let's see. I seriously doubt. Why is this thing losing XHTML? No. Ajax, access, cookies, being sent. I don't think that would work. Look again. That won't work. Let's see. Must obey some origin policy. So it won't work, basically, that's what they're saying. So what they do is just create an element and add it there. But even if we can get the style sheets, there's nothing there that we can use. So we have here the reference to the style sheet. It gets it, no problem, and it can be used. The cookies are sent, but there's no set cookie. That's obvious. That's obvious. Let's have a look at this thing. It's just a style sheet, a just simple style sheet. Am I missing something? Interestingly enough, when it requests a second time, due to the iframe, I think, it returns a 304 not modified. Yeah, here it is. Anyways, what time is it? 2 hours 30. Oh my. Okay, let's have a look. Maybe do, sometimes it's the search terms that we have, that we use on queries. Let's try. Same origin policy. It's returning the same results. Let's go DuckDuckGo. It's not giving that many different domains, examples. Okay. Course anywhere. Let's have a look at this. What's this? Cookies are disabled and stripped from requests, so that's not gonna help us. Because if they do, you can always try, it doesn't hurt. But then let's see. This is using jQuery. let's download jQuery. But then I need to modify. No, I can just include it. Oh, okay. What element is this one? Include it here. So this is it. This is the script. We get jQuery, and now what we do. I'm not sure if this is going to work with a local domain. I'm pretty sure it won't. Hey, doesn't hurt trying. Also, just in case we need to have a look at the packet catcher. We have a problem. Because it's Chrome headless, I'm doing a... That's not gonna work, is it? I'm doing an alert. Anyways. Let's try here. I didn't do anything. I did include jQuery. Oh, fair enough. Just forget I need to restart the app. Let's go. Do something. Did nothing. Cool. No, not really, Barney. Playing around a little bit to see if I can bypass cores, but that's about it. Okay. Didn't even do the request. Okay, let's try something else. Just be sure this thing is being called. that? One frame loaded is not defined. Also, it's here. Oh man. Okay, screw that. Let's try again. Nothing is printed. Okay, let's try when the... What do we do on document ready? It's the short encryption. There we go. Let's try again. Nice to know. Is it? Oh, okay. Is it because of that? Maybe. Seems like it. I need to change the keyboard layout in the meantime. Okay, that's the problem, I think. Yeah, now it should be okay. In any case, this doesn't work. So it doesn't even do the request, I think. No, it does do the request. Yeah, I cannot connect to, of course. And they strip the cookies, so even if we do the request to the flags, which is what we're gonna do, it's gonna be stripped of cookies and whatnot. That's okay. Very good. And it does do print the contents, but they straight away say here that cookies are not proxied. So even if we get the Puppet instance of Chrome to send a request to this, the cookies are gonna be killed. So the flags page won't return or the flag that we want. So that might be a problem. Well, it just won't work. There's no cookies. Even basically this acts as a proxy, right? So if I implement, yeah, but the problem is that I cannot make the puppeteer or the Puppet Chrome instance go through my proxy to go to the files. That's where DNS rebinding would come into play. And that's not gonna work either. At least not from my point of view. Let's see. I didn't try. What version of this thing it's using? Version 8.0. Let's see. I didn't do that basic check. Where's the GitHub? Here, so let's see. What are the latest release? 8.2. So do they do proper releases with... Yeah, they do have release notes. Okay. Bug fixes. Nothing security related. Let's have a look at 8.0. Big update. This doesn't have anything here security wise. That was fixed in between 8.0 and 8.2, which is the latest version. Let me just check why my LastPass plugin is yellowed out here in the browser. Okay. It was just complaining about internet access. Yeah, I can burn it. And from there you can get the URLs. So, because this strips cookies, so in any case doesn't work. So we don't have cross-site scripting. Let's have a look at the... Because also this doesn't take any parameters, only the cookies. And it basically compares it to a variable. One thing I didn't try. Let me see. The LFI is pointing to the this one. Just out of curiosity. Because why not? I think it will fail for sure. Block, self, environment. I think I already tried this. I'm pretty sure I already tried this. Yeah. It doesn't even give you an error. If we look at the file. LTR. Yeah, it doesn't contain anything. That's the normal, more or less the normal size they have, without any added content. Yeah, it doesn't contain anything. It would appear along these lines here if it had any extra strings. So forget about that. Was trying to be cheeky and get the environmental variables. Clearly that one ain't gonna work. Cheers, Barney. Thanks for coming. Even if it's just for your... Sometimes your trolling is appreciated. So... God damn it. This thing is so minimalistic. Does the download have anything to play? I can iframe a request to a flag that I know of. Will that request have the headers that I need? Potentially. Because one of the things I found about this submit is if I submit a request to a download to this endpoint, if I submit it here, like if I do this, copy link location, yeah, exactly. If you look at the packet capture, you see here the get download, right? And then you see this, and this is the request to the UBI. And if we look at the request to the UBI, even though it is to a different host, it has the cookies in it. Has the cookies on it. What is the response from the get download? Yeah, it's just empty. 404 not found. So even if I put this in my iframe, I don't get anything out of it. And that happens because basically this is what they are doing. They are copying the headers from one request to the other, from this request into this one, the one that there is being sent to the UBI. And we cannot control this because it's after the /. Which is a shame, because imagine that I could, on the params file, I used @ symbol that would make the rest or the beginning of the URL become a username password, and then whatever I supplied it afterwards was the actual domain that you're trying, or the attacker controlled domain, and basically the cookies would be copied and sent over. And I tried that already once and it didn't really work. Because of this /. I could try again, just to be sure, but I seriously doubt it will work. So I'm saying download, and then this is the name of the file. So what if I do this? I don't know. Request this. What happens? Yeah, you see here, it's still doing the request to the UBI, which is in, yeah, exactly, which is on the IP ending in 1, instead of doing the request to this one, because it comes after the /. In any case, also the library by itself, bent, might be a little bit smarter than that and may not allow this to happen. What can one do? I'm out of ideas, and it's been 3 hours since I started streaming, so 3 hours of getting nowhere. I think I'll stop for now, let it sink in. Let's see if I can get any other ideas. Because I have this iframe. Anyways, guys, thanks for everybody that dropped by and interacted as well and asked questions. I'll have to delve a little bit on this one off stream, see what I can come up with of any other vectors. Not sure when I'll be back streaming this one, but anyways, cheers and enjoy your weekend.